So the 22B was developed as what we call a celebration car. Essentially, it was the 40th anniversary of Subaru, coinciding with the third consecutive WRC Manufacturers Championship that we won in 1998. And it's arguably one of the best looking STi products we've ever made. Rarely does a car transition so well from a rally car to a street car. This is one of those few times. It's kind of the thoroughbred of that line. It sounds great, it looks great, and it's got a serious road presence when you're in it. The vehicle was sold only online and in Japan, so it was essentially a Japanese-only car. Because of that, you rarely see them in the US. And in fact, we're really lucky to have this car here. This is one of only two that are in the United States. We're really privileged to even be able to drive it. Initially, the RS Coupe that we used to have, an Impreza RS Coupe, was turned into a rally car by ProDrive. That car kind of grew as it went through its first 3 seasons. And then, of course, the final season, 98, is kind of when we got this kind of flared fender look to the car, which made it look a lot meaner. And then, of course, the big wing. And as you can see, it translates really well to a road car. It's kind of rare that you get a car that looks great as a road car and as a rally car. This is one of the few cars that can really pull that off. 22B is really just an internal designation they were using while preparing this car. The rally cars until that time had been using 2-liter engines. These were bumped out to 2.2-liter engines. That's where you get your 22, obviously. And then B was an internal code for turbo. One of the most unique items is it does have the STi emblem up front, and that's a color called cherry red. That was kind of the logo that we came out with for the STi brand. The color scheme on the car is essentially mimicking that what was on the rally car. The original 555 cars came out with this blue with gold wheels, and then that kind of really morphed into what everyone expects out of an STi. So when you think of the iconic STi brand, it harkens back to those rally cars and to that blue and gold livery. This sporting gold BBSs, which became kind of a mainstay for the WRX and STi brand going forward. The most unique aspect of the 22B was its new engine. It was a 2.2-liter engine. It was a closed deck design. So it meant it had a different engine block than the pre-existing 2-liter engines that we've been using, had different heads for better flow. It allowed higher boost, and it had a lot of better performance. It actually put out more horsepower than the previous cars, but it also allowed it to do it more effortlessly. So the engine was less stressed. It's truly an amazing car to drive. Even though this car was launched in 1998, you would never know it. It'll easily keep up with current day cars, and it's got an amazingly light feel to it. It's a little bit different than, say, a current STi. If you drive that car, you get a much heavier shift action. The real joy is in how light it is and how quick it is. Once it gets on turbo, it is really quick. And there's a great finesse you can use on this car in terms of handling. You can slide it through corners a little bit, which is unusual in an all-wheel drive car, but it will allow you just a little bit of slip before the wheels catch and take off again. The thing that this car shares with WRXs before it and STIs who have come after it is the way you can apply the power in a corner. You can get on the turbo, get on the powertrain hard, and it'll explode out of the corners. When this car came out, it instantly became kind of the halo car for the STi brand. And it's a very special car still to this day. We only made 400 of these cars. This car essentially has got direct DNA into what evolved into the STi that we know in the US and really around the world, the iconic STi. This is the first time I really saw that on a Subaru for the street.